Hey everyone, how are we doing? I was recently sent this from Jeremiah of all trades of open source SDR Labs, and it is the H4m portapack running the signature Mayhem firmware. And as you can see there, it is the signature portapack case and screening, which is absolutely sick on the back there, PCB. This thing is insane. For anything that doesn't know what an SDR is, it is a software defined radio. So rather than being a traditional radio like this one, where the radio runs off the mechanical parts of the device, this thing runs off software and the microcontrollers and the chips inside it to monitor, analyze and parse all those radio signals into a format on the screen, whether that's the channel analyzer or one of the many apps, Looking Glass and things like that. What I want to do in this video is, this is my first week on this. I am an absolute portapack H4m noob, virgin, first time, or whatever you want to call it. So this is a journey and exercise in what I'm learning, my mistakes, and what I can pass on to you. So let's jump down onto the table, let's get a closer look at this and go through my perceptions of it, what I've learned, and things like that. So yeah, let's roll. So here is the H4m portapack HackRF from Open Source Labs. As you can see, it's got the signature Mayhem silk screening on the portapack section of the board. This thing is two pieces, so it's two boards that are sandwiched together to turn it into this one whole device. So on the back you have, this is your HackRF board. This has been developed by the name escapes me, and I will put the name on the screen here when I edit this video and put it back on. So that has been done by, or not Clipperty, that has been done by a different company. And then you have the portapack board on this is sandwiched together to give you a portable device, and then the buttons and the scroll and the joggle and everything like that, and everything. So yeah, you get out the box antennas, and depending on what bundle you get from Open Source Labs, if that's where you choose to get it from, I would highly recommend it because you know it's legit. You get the extendable antenna and you get various other bits. Obviously make sure you connect this before you put it on. You get your clock in and clock out SMAs attached. Obviously I don't think I will ever use those because yeah, I just don't know if I ever will, but I need to 3D print some bits on there. You've got your audio jack cable, your audio port there. You have your microphone toggle button for your external or your mic, and then your power on and off there. Also you have your reset button. You have your reset button, and you have your DFU or boot button for if you need to flash the device like I did. And Jeremiah of all trades helped me because I bricked my device to start with, and then I got his help to show me how to separate the pieces and reflash the HackRF to then get back to where I needed to be. You also have these LEDs, which I think is a really cool feature. If we will focus, you also have these LEDs here which show you what is going on. So as you can see here, you have a TX and RX, USB RF, a 1V8, the DFU, 3 volt, and the reset and antenna shows you there, clock in, clock out. But when these are flashing and doing, it shows you what it's so you know if you're transmitting something and this light doesn't come on, that you ain't transmitting, or if you're receiving and you're not getting anything but your receiver's not coming on, there's an issue. So that helps with stuff like that. So off the bat, you turn this on and you will get a stock Mayhem, if you're running Mayhem, stock Mayhem splash screen. Obviously, as you can see here, I have put my own Squirrel screen on there. Very easy process to do. You just need to get your image, put it down to the right image size, which is about 240 by 310 or something like that. I will put that there, the correct one. But then, yeah, once you've done that, you can just go into the HackRF app, the online. So if you search on Google HackRF app, you will be able to just directly connect this via USB into computer, drop that file, and it needs to be in a .bmp format. So you can drop that straight into the splash folder that will be located in the folder section, and yeah, you're good to go. So once you turn it on, let's give a demonstration. You'll get the load up, you get your splash screen, press your center button, and you are away. You have various options at the top, so you can go into your settings and you can do and change all these. Jeremiah of All Trades has a fantastic video going through your configuration and things like that, so I highly recommend checking his videos out on getting set up with this. But you can do sort of screenshots, night mode, turn the screen off, various other bits, but I'm not 100% sure what they are. Turn your sound off, light, dim and do your screen, your battery, where you can then go into battery and you can see what methods of showing charging and decharging is going on. It also gives you your battery percentage as well, and it also tells you if your SD card is mounted properly as well. Going into your main menus as well, down here you obviously have on the main screen a group of decent menus. So you receive, obviously that's just your receiving signals, transmitting signals and transceivers, Recon, which is a standalone app, Capture, which is a standalone app, Replay, Looking Glass, which is one of my favourites, Remote, Utilities, Games, which I've been on a couple of games and they are cool, Battleship, Blackjack, Breakout, Dino Game where you jump over stuff, Snakes, Tetris, Pac-Man. Yeah, Pac-Man's pretty cool, gotta say. Digital Rain, that's pretty cool as an effect, isn't it? That's smart. So yeah, some pretty cool stuff straight out the I would say straight out the box, because you have to load all these apps on. Again, Jeremiah does a fantastic video on that, but straight out of the firmware, once you've done the AM upload, it's fantastic. And again, I can do a separate video on that, but this is just a run through of what I've learned so far. So first of all, the thing that you want to learn and look at is Looking Glass. That is the thing that is going to help you just no end with this device, like 100%. And what Looking Glass does is if I just try to that, yeah, we go. So what Looking Glass does is Looking Glass will monitor all of the signals and any receiving transmissions within these ranges. So you set your min, you set your max, and then it will show you what is coming in. And not obviously, but if you go to apologies, if you go to your marker here and you can do your wheel, you'll see this little red wheel pops up here. Once you go on marker, you can then go across to anything that looks tasty, and normally things with like the red lines coming out are strong signals. You can see we've got something there at 599. So once you do find something like that, and this might not be nothing, this might be a data transmission or it could be absolutely anything, but once you do find something that looks of interest, you go to it, click on it, and then it brings you into audio, and then you can flick through whether it's your wide FM, your narrow FM or AM, and then FM, and then AM FM, and then back to the spectrogram. But yeah, that's a way of being able to find something that looks tasty and then wait for it. And then as you go through that, you can kind of see what's going on. But as a quick demonstration, something that I can probably pick up I am in a metal shed as well, so that will obviously have a factor on it. But if I put in if I put in 99, because your radio stations are normally within sort of 88 to 108, I think. So if I look at this, obviously you can then, using your LNA, which is your low gain, and then your VGAs, yeah, you can tweak this and start to get a look at what. So we've got a red line down there. So if we go down, this is, oh, what am I doing? Making a hash of this now when it comes to demonstrating. So go to your marker, whiz this across and to whatever this may be, and then hopefully we go into audio, go into FM, drop this down. So on Looking Glass, you've got your min there, so you set your min, you set your max. I've got this set to the aviation channels here, but you can go through the preset ones for your area and what you're after as well to see what is knocking about. Obviously ADSB, which is planes and monitoring planes flying around, ACARS, various different FM broadcasts, USA, Brazil, Japan, What's that? 6.75 ECB radios, public services. So yeah, there's an absolute public service 460. There's a plethora of presets in there already. But one thing you can do, which is again really cool, obviously you can filter, you can put your amp on. You can do F or S. I'm presuming this is fast or slow potentially. You can change your volume and your res, and then use spectrogram. You can do levels and you can do peaks. So another feature that's really cool for Looking Glass is this. So you can get a car remote garage door receiver, something like that, for experimental purposes only, obviously. And then you can see when you press this, we're getting this spike on the right hand side. So if we change from levels to peaks, this will hold that at its highest point. So we can see there. And then we can easily go across to identify this signal as 847.7875. So yeah, really cool way of being able to use Looking Glass to identify frequencies, one that I really enjoy. And that's about it really, other than planes and fobs and walkie-talkies. Obviously trying to utilise and get better at Looking Glass. I've just been trying to identify obviously the best way to receive those, and if it's sort of FM frequency modulation or amplitude modulation with AM and things like that, and then the wide and narrow, and I'm learning all those bits in between. So some videos I'm going to start doing going forward are going to be the learning that I do, because I want to do the foundation radio exam in the UK, so I can be able to transmit as well. Obviously I won't go into any transmit because I've not been able to do any of that. So yeah, a lot of fun to come. Hope you enjoy this. Obviously any questions, this was just a quick sort of brief look into my first week using this device. I hope any of that was helpful or interesting in any way, and I'll go into more details as I sort of learn more as well. Peace.